Think you crazy, say you hate me. Sean play crazy like why you hate me. You pray for better's what you asking for. I give you better than what you asking for. Tired of the arguing.
Well, hello, and welcome to Barbershop.talk podcast. Now, this is the podcast where our topics are determined by the conversation that goes on in the barbershop on Saturdays. And again, we want to say thanks. Thanks for voting us one of the most entertaining podcasts in Indianapolis. With that being said, we are in Indianapolis in Out the Way Studio, and I'm not alone. I'm here with my co-host, and that is KC.
Thank you, J. Rod. It is a pleasure to co-host Barbershop.talk podcast here in Out the Way Studios. And like J. Rod said, if it comes up on Saturday, it goes down on this podcast today. In the beginning was the word, and it was spread by the Yardbirds, and it touched all those who had heard from the inner city to the suburb. And that word is reality check. I know it's 2 words. While most MAGA supporters thought they were going to get lower prices, better health care, white privilege, and even a check, they are discovering they are receiving none of these. But instead, their only payment is a reality check. Be careful where you cash it.
Okay. I guess you told them, KC. That's right. Be careful when you catch that sucker.
Because we ain't trying to hear about it.
No, not at all. Now, before we get into our program, Casey, I got to ask you this question here. Because you and I both was talking about that insurance program in our last episode, Stay in Your Lane Insurance.
Yeah.
And we like that so much. I don't know about you, Casey, but I went back to school, and I am now taking a course to become a license to sell that policy.
Yeah?
Yes, sir. What about you?
Well, no, but I don't know about becoming a licensed seller, but there's a couple of policies I might want to get.
Now we're going to remind our listeners that it is called Stay in Your Lane Insurance. Now, I'm going to show our listeners this training video because this lady just got a divorce, and she want to purchase a policy.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what kind of policy that they're talking about here, Casey.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay, so it says here that you're looking to renew your relationship coverage. Yes?
No. I just got divorced.
Oh,
Proof right there.
congratulations. Welcome back to the streets.
Thank you.
Okay, so what are you looking for?
I'm looking for something with like love on my own terms, and then like no attachment, so I could like send you on your way when I'm done.
Oh, it says here that we have a part-time partner plan. So this is for ladies who don't really want to be with a whole nigga, but just be with him when they feel like it. Have some attention, have a little love, have a little cuddling, and then, send the nigga home.
Saturday, you're not asking me what I'm doing.
Relationship perks, but zero accountability, all right? So when we together, it's going to feel like we in a relationship. I mean, it's going to feel like we together. And when you walk out that door, I don't know you no more. So this package does not come with feelings. You're not eligible to catch feelings or ask us where we're at. Very low maintenance package, but it's exactly what you want.
Okay, so what do I do if you catch feelings I'm not interested anymore?
Oh, that's simple. All you have to do is let us know you're pregnant and that it's ours, and you'll never hear from us again. Congratulations. Okay, so it says
All right, Casey. Now, there may be a lot of people out here that have some interest in this policy.
I think that's going to be a very popular one, J. Rod.
Yeah, what do you say? You get a half a person?
No, he said, you don't want a whole nigga.
But you got to have those benefits, right? You have that cuddle. You can cuddle.
Yeah.
Somebody to call when you want to be bothered.
Yeah, when he's with you, he's your guy.
That's
but
right.
when he leaves, ain't nothing happening.
And they can't ask you things like what you was doing Saturday night, Sunday night. None of that.
No accountability, Jay.
Because what did he say? He said something like when he leaves. I can't remember what he said, but I don't remember. He said, I don't remember now, but it was pretty funny to me.
Yeah, it was. And that's going to be a very popular policy, I believe.
You think so?
Yeah, I think once you get out there and start selling it, you're going to be amazed how many of those policies you sell.
Now, you think that policy would apply to people that have long-term relationships that having to break up? That could apply.
You mean after they break up?
Yeah, after they break up, that policy.
Okay, yeah, not while they're in a relationship.
No, not in the relationship. I said, but people in the long relationship when they break up, that should apply. That's another market.
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay. All right. I'm going to go on because we got this other video. And what's this all about here, Casey?
Okay, when your cougar mama forgot to shave.
Oh, the title's got me hooked.
Yeah. I hope she ain't got a beard or mustache.
Hey,
Oh.
come on in. It's cold out there. Come on, babe. Okay. Hey, what's going on? Hey, baby. Oh, you ready to get your hair done? Yeah. Okay, well, sit down and don't act like anything. Okay. I'll be back. Man, my ass. Oh my God! I keep telling this girl. This not the 60s or the 70s. She need to go ahead and start mowing that lawn. Oh my God. She don't believe in shaving or waxes. What you say? Huh? Nothing. Oh, okay. Okay. Babe, you ready? Go ahead, sit on the ground, but not with my white pillow. Get the other pillow, crazy. Okay. Yeah, sit on down here. Hey, what you doing? Hey, come on now. We're not gonna take all day to do this. You smell grown. It's grown and sexy. What's that smell? You gotta handle your business. That ain't nothing but pheromones. It smells moist. Hold on, wait a minute. What? Before you do my hair, you need to do yours. Like what I'm saying, you gonna trim it for me? Go get the clippers, baby. No, I don't. Go looking down at the cabinet and get mama clippers. I don't know about all that. Why? The way how that look, you might got a couple hair bumps. You can't let it grow like that. You out here, you grow faster than a sheep or a wolf. Boy, this ain't been but 2 days. Just 2 days. 2 days? Yeah. 2 days? Yeah. Or like 2-3 years. No. Come on now, get your hair done. Let's go there. I ain't gonna lie. You ain't gonna put that pussy hair on my goddamn shoulder while I get my goddamn hair. I shit. So now you don't like wolf pussy. You been like a wolf pussy. I ain't said. Man, sit your ass. Listen. It's not the fact that you got a wolf. You got an afro. That's all right, huh? That's all right. An afro make your hair grow. Now let's get your hair done. Oh my goodness. Come on, baby. Jesus Christ. You gonna get rid of it after we done my hair? Hell yeah, you gonna put the clippers on it. I miss you anyway. Yeah, you're gonna put the clippers on it and you're gonna go to the wax lady. Shoot, you said you grow back every 2 days. Shit, you're gonna go every 30 minutes. Every 2 days. The more I don't see you, the more it grow. Oh my goodness gracious. Yes, you gotta keep this cougar lady straight.
Oh man! Wow.
Now, Casey, I'm gonna say something. That was hilarious to me.
Oh, it was funny, but it was cringeworthy.
What do you mean cringe? Because back in the day, it didn't matter, right? It didn't matter if you had we used to call it a bush.
That was a tree, J. Rod. That was a whole forest. We cool with a bush, not the whole forest.
Hold on, Casey. Hold on. What's the difference between a bush and a forest?
Okay, when they got them panties on, you don't see nothing coming out the sides. That's a bush. That's a bush. Yeah, but what she got, that's a whole forest, man. There may be animals up in there.
Oh my goodness! So you're saying it was a rainforest?
Well, he said it was wet.
All right, okay. Tell me this, Casey. Because back in the day, it was all right to have a little bushy down there. So when did he turn to where people have an expectation of this being shaved?
Okay, now I'm gonna say for the African American community, that transition probably started the mid to late 90s.
Mid to late 90s?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But because prior to that, it was normal, to have a bush. But now they kept it trimmed. They kept it neat.
They kept it trimmed.
They kept it neat, or you moved your feet. but I'm gonna say there was like a transition in the mid to late 90s.
Oh, I see.
For African Americans.
All right. Okay. Now somehow I'm getting the impression that you are an expert on this. So I'm going to ask you another question, Casey. So yeah, it seems like you're an expert in this area.
Mhm.
Now, is it appropriate for men to shave?
Well, I could care less.
Okay.
But
yeah,
but I'm gonna
in
say
general,
this.
in general.
I'm gonna say this: do what's good for you. You know, if you prefer to shave, and but don't advertise it to other fellas. Just that's between you and your lady.
All right. So it's if the person that you want, right, if they have a preference that you shave, then just go ahead and shave, or if you just feel like it.
I think if they had a preference like that, that's something you should take into consideration. Now,
So what advantage do a male get? Is to feel more airy or breezy or what?
that depends on the response of his partner after he shaves. You know, and they say, "Yeah, it's worth it."
Okay, all right, okay, all right. I get that. All right, but I'm going to tell you, as a professional hairstylist and barber, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you trim down there, don't go too close because you'll get some hair bumps.
Oh shoot!
And that can be painful.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Very painful. Hey, since you are an expert in this, I got one more.
I am an expert.
This is my final question, Casey.
Okay.
This is my final question on this topic.
Mm-hmm.
The men get wax, like female get wax.
Well, I can't speak for all men, but those that do probably sound like women when it's happening.
I bet it is painful. I bet it is painful.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if it was some girls when they wax it, some of their skin come off.
Oh.
Just wondering, Casey.
I don't know. And if it did, that'd be the last time. You know, we just gonna stick with these clippers.
All right. We gonna move on our show here, Casey. What's this next clip all about?
So this is Annie Mae coming home on lunch break. Look what happens.
All right, so his little woman coming home from lunch break. Let's see what's happening here. All right, let's go.
Come on, baby, you ready?
Ready for what?
Babe, I told you I was coming home on my break. Come on, I don't have time. I don't have long.
What?
I just took them off.
What?
I just took them off, babe. You ready?
Motherfucker stinking.
I just took them off, baby. You know I'm on my break. I've been sweating.
You been sweating a lot, then them motherfuckers stink.
Come on, baby. You know I don't got long. I told you I wasn't gonna have long. I was coming home on the break. Come on, I want you to go down there.
You think I'm gonna go down there with this shit smelling like that?
Come on, baby. You done had worse.
I'm not gonna go down there with this smelling like that.
Baby, you done had worse. Come on now, baby. You done had worse. Now, it's just a little sweat.
No, sweat. That's all?
Yeah, just a little sweat,
it
baby.
It smell like more than sweat.
Yeah, come on. I don't have long.
Well, you better go get in the shower.
I don't have time to get in the shower, baby. Come on, I told you this.
That right there, I'm all right.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
No, baby, I done came all the way home from work.
You should have stopped by a store or something to wash your ass before you got here. You talking about?
It's only sweat.
That ain't only sweat.
Baby, it's only sweat.
That ain't only sweat. This some more.
I've been at work. And I only been gone for a couple of hours. I'm on my break, baby. I told you I was coming home so we can do it. You said you was going to go down on me and everything.
I said, but I didn't know you were smelling like this.
Baby, you don't have words.
You talking about what I had. I'm talking about what I got now. This now.
Baby,
now.
It's okay.
Come on, go down.
It's okay.
Go down. Go down.
Smell it.
No, you...
Okay, all right. Okay, hold on, Casey. Hold down, Casey.
That's a lot to break down there, Jay.
Wait a minute, Casey. This one of these videos. What would you do? Now, before we go to what would you do, I want to see if I can get some of those comments up. No, it don't look like it's working. We can't get any comments up here. I was just kind of curious of what the what would be said, but apparently we cannot. So, what do you think people are saying about that, Casey?
Well, first of all, my man right, because if you smell right, ain't no nah.
Hold on. Okay. I thought you was curious to say, if you smell ripe, it's not right.
Well, I ain't saying she ain't right, but it ain't time for no going down at you.
All right, but KC, okay, I'm gonna put you in this situation here because she's on a limited time and she got to go back to work. But apparently she was feeling frisky, and so she gave you a heads up. I'm coming home doing my break real quick, so you can go ahead and do some of those things you do. Now what?
Baby, you need to get on back to work. I'll meet you in the shower when you get off your job.
All right, okay. This is my takeaway, my learning from this conversation. If it smells right, it ain't right.
But here's the thing. She said this 4 or 5 times, so it must be true. She said, you had worse. I'm like, God, no.
The thing that got me in the video is that he was like, what's going on here? But then when he put that bass in the voice, he said, I ain't doing that.
Yeah, you got to draw a line in the sand.
He sure did. He was like, no, not today, not tomorrow, not anytime.
Yeah, well, I don't know about anytime. But just after you had a shower.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. All right, we're going to move on here. I think we're going to move on. I think it's about a Trump supporter. They're really switching gears on us on this. So let's see what this is about. What here, Casey? Anything on there?
Okay.
No?
Well, they got some comments.
All right. Well, let's just go ahead and look at the video first then.
All right.
They took him. I opened the mail and it says I'm cut off. My kid's food stamps gone. I voted for him. I wore this hat right here. And now he turns around and says we don't need help. How am I supposed to buy groceries? He said he...
Well, Casey.
FAFO.
That's right. You know, screw around and find out. Now, what killed me is that when she thought somebody else was going to have that issue, it was okay. But now when it hit her, she's all distraught.
Right. It was like, yeah, not us. We going to get the white privilege. It's those other folks you're going to take stuff away from.
Yeah, that's what she thought.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm going to try to pull this up. I don't see it. Can you see those comments at all, Casey?
Yeah, I can. Okay, one comment. He took your food stamps, but you're still wearing that damn hat. Good news, though.
Okay.
There's a lot of job openings. They need day laborers at the farms.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you think about that? Right, still wearing that red hat and crying. All right, so what about the next one?
Okay, this is what you voted for. Stop crying. You got what you want.
That's right. That's right. You know something about that, Casey? I was thinking about some of the Trump supporters, and there was a news article that Trump supporters are so into Trump. When you criticize Trump or his action, they take it personal. That's amazing to me. That it's just amazing to me that because that's cult what they call it
a
cult behavior.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what
that's what that is. That's what that whole Trump thing. It is a cult. You know that whole MAGA thing.
Absolutely, Casey.
Because when you drunk the Kool-Aid the way they had, reality doesn't matter.
Right. Now, I know that we have some young listeners that listen to our podcast from time to time, and I just want to say when he drunk the Kool-Aid, he's talking about Jim Jones.
Not the rapper.
No, not the rapper. But feel free to Google Jim Jones was a minister, a pastor, and the Killers congregation. He made some Kool-Aid that had poison in it, and he poisoned all his followers. So that's what that's all about. So I just want to make sure that we don't lose anybody when we talk about drinking the Kool-Aid, because that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So good reference. All right, Casey, we're gonna learn something about ice. All right, so let's see what we got here about ice. All right, here we go. What it says there, I can't see it.
ICE employees vent on Reddit saying they're not getting paid and still no insurance despite promises.
And I'm assuming you're talking about promises for Trump.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let's hear it.
and health insurance. According to posts under an ICE agent subreddit, new agents have yet to receive the $50,000 promised to new recruits. Some are saying that it's being taxed so aggressively, it's nothing like what they thought they would get. Others haven't gotten anything at all. Other posts claim that they haven't even been paid at all 4 weeks into the job. Trump's DHS made a lot of promises to incentivize people to join ICE. There was the $50,000 signing bonus, student loan forgiveness, overtime pay, and other bonuses. Now it looks like the new ICE recruits aren't even getting standard employment benefits. One post claimed that they have been without health insurance for 2 months. They may have been misled, which isn't surprising knowing Trump. A closer look at the fine print of that promised $50,000 signing bonus shows that it's not actually what it looks like. It's $10,000 if they returned as a former employee, $10,000 if applications were submitted before August, and $10,000 annually for 3 years if they stay. None of this was how it was marketed. ICE agents are realizing that Trump...
Wow. Now, I'm surprised that they're surprised. I mean, that's what you get from a liar.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. There's nobody in America that doesn't know Trump is a con man.
That's right.
And that Trump is a liar.
That's right.
And not just a habitual liar. He's a all-time only thing he can do liar. Right?
Absolutely.
So, so you have nobody to blame but yourself if you fell for this.
And they fell for it big time.
Yeah.
Now, in reality, see, this is the type of news that I think is missing, because only thing I have heard before I seen this snippet is that sign up to be ICE and you get a $50,000 bonus.
Right.
And I was like, man, that's a lot of money for
Yeah,
a
we
bonus.
were talking about signing up, man.
Well, for a minute there.
Yeah, we was just going to sign up, get the bonus, and quit.
That's right. But now...
Glad we didn't.
They're not getting the bonus. Now, this is the part I like the best when she said that $10,000 you get if you're with them for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what they're going to do? Lay them off. They gonna lay them off, KC.
Yeah.
And they don't get that 10,000. Again, these people, I'm going to use your phrase, drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Believing the liar.
And they don't realize what Trump was really doing. What he was really doing was recruiting his own vigilante force.
Oh, absolutely.
To carry out his unlawful acts.
Mm-hmm.
So
that means you screwing the people who believe in you. I'm going to screw you. I'm going to screw you. I screw everyone.
That's Trump.
Now, speaking about this screwing, look at this next clip here, KC.
Okay.
Because I think this is your favorite topic. What it says there? What we got there?
Trump collapses as Clinton Epstein testimony threatens to expose everything.
All right, so let's see what this is all about.
I need you to understand what just happened. Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton said, fine. You want us to testify about Epstein? We'll do it. Put the cameras on. Let the whole country watch. And MAGA Republicans panicked. James Comer, the guy who has been running his mouth for months about transparency and accountability and getting to the truth. The second the Clintons called his bluff, he folded. He wants it behind closed doors. He wants depositions, not a public hearing. Ask yourself why. If you actually believe the Clintons were guilty of something, wouldn't you want the whole world to see them squirm? Wouldn't that be the ultimate victory? Unless, of course, you're not actually trying to get the truth. You're trying to control it. Before we get into all of it, do me a favor, hit subscribe if you haven't, leave a like. It genuinely helps. So here's what happened. Comer went on Fox, and you could practically smell the fear through the screen. He's sitting there trying to explain why a public hearing isn't necessary, why depositions are better, why Hillary Clinton doesn't get to dictate the terms. Check this out.
James Comer. All right. She wants to tell you how to do your job. You're saying no.
No, look, she has moved the goalposts millions of times throughout this entire process, then fires out an email attacking me today, accusing me of moving the goalpost. And
notice what he did there. He spent the entire time talking about process. Depositions versus hearings, subpoena compliance, committee rules. That's the tell. When someone is confident in their case, they talk about the evidence. When someone is scared of what might come out, they talk about procedure. Comer is hiding behind House rules because he knows that if the Clintons sit in front of cameras and answer every single question clearly and directly, it destroys the narrative. The whole point of this was supposed to be, the Clintons are hiding something. Well, they're not hiding anymore. They're standing at the door saying, let us in. And let's not pretend this is about protecting victims or getting justice for survivors. Comer literally said on camera that committee hearings are more for entertainment than substance. His words. So when he was holding those hearings about Hunter Biden's laptop, those were entertainment? when he was parading witnesses in front of cameras for months, trying to build an impeachment case against Joe Biden that went absolutely nowhere, that was just a show? Look, I need you to understand.
All right, now that is some serious stuff. 'Cause let me tell you up front. If the Clintons was going to testify, it's going to be on TV about Epstein. I'm watching.
Everybody's watching.
That's right.
Both sides of the aisle.
Everybody's watching.
They don't want that.
No, they don't want that.
And see, here's the thing. All right. If you're really concerned about, finding out what's going on because their names was mentioned, Trump's name was mentioned thousands of times. The only name that comes up in the Epstein files more than Donald Trump is Epstein. So why not have a hearing with him? Call him in to testify in front of everybody.
Yeah, now I may have to validate this figure, but I was under the impression that it was over 58,000 times that Trump name was mentioned. Now that I need to look up and validate.
Yeah.
But however, this one I know. He made 4,500 payments to Epstein. So yeah, you're absolutely right. If anybody testify about what's happening, I'm going to check it out, because if they testify, they got to name names. Or if not, they're going to ask questions about who else was at this event.
Yeah.
Who else can collaborate your story?
And what I've heard from several Congress people that were allowed to go see the unredacted file, what they put out so far, it's heavily redacted.
Yeah.
But they're allowed to go see the unredacted versions of it.
Right.
And they all said Trump name came up way more than the 5,000.
Yeah.
It was all that was the most heavily redacted name in the whole thing.
Yeah, there was one. She was a female congressman that reviewed the entire thing, and you can see she was shaking.
Yeah.
She was trembling. She was nervous. She said it was extremely disturbing.
Yeah.
And when I seen her reaction, I was saying there must be some deep stuff.
Right.
In those things.
And it's like a secluded room where you watch that. And she said while she was there, reading through the files, some orange person came through and grabbed her by the. Well, let's just move on, Jay. Right? Let's just move on.
Well, Trump said when you're famous, you can do that. Yeah, but it's very disturbing. And another thing is that really kills me and haven't been answered clear enough for me.
Yeah.
Why did they release some of the victims' names and didn't
protect a lot of alleged perpetrators?
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, honestly, if I visit the island and I did some things, of course I'll be fighting. Don't release those suckers.
Right.
Get my name out of there.
But you should be fighting it in court. You should try to, or in front of a body, to clear your name in front of a body. Because right now, we know what was taking place on that island. That don't mean everybody that went to the island necessarily did that, but we know what kind of activities was taking place, and you need to clear your name since you visited that island.
Well, this is what I think, honestly. If you visit that island, your name will never be cleared, because I don't think that you visit that island and know what's happening and just go have tea and biscuits. I honestly don't, KC.
Yeah.
If you know what was happening on that island, and you went to that island, you was attracted to those rumors
you was going
or
there
things that you heard for a reason. You wouldn't go in there and have breakfast.
Yeah, you was like, what's the guy that owns Tesla? The Doge guy. Elon Musk.
Elon.
Right. Because like some of his text messages that were released, talking about, hey man, I'm gonna be in the Caribbean. Can I come over and party? Is it a good time? You got some chicks lined up?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I haven't seen not one email that says, hey, Epstein, I heard your coffee was knocking it out the park. When I'm in your area, can you make me some coffee? I haven't seen the email like that yet. So anyway, if you went to that island, I truly believe your name is not going to be cleared. You did something. Now, the magnitude of what you did, I don't know, because I do know this, Casey. I do know this. Everybody that went to a P. Diddy party didn't necessarily engage in the after party activities.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. If your name is mentioned as someone who visited that island, and you saying you didn't do anything wrong, you need to come clear your name. Because until you clear your name, then we know you was at that party.
Yeah.
And this is much worse than the P. Diddy party.
Well, I don't know because see, what separates the two to me is the baby oil. See, that separates the two for me.
Well, what separates it from me is the age of the victims.
Oh,
so we talk about kids, and he was trafficking kids from all over the world, not just from America, J-Rod.
Well, I'm with you on that, but P. Diddy was doing the same thing. Maybe not as his numbers. Maybe Epstein had more, but he one of the things that P. Diddy was doing to our was proven that some of these was underage women. Well, matter of fact, let's do this. Ask Usher what happened to him. Ask Beaver what happened to him.
Well, I mean, they stayed with him, and
I'm
young kids.
I'm talking about their age, right? What happened with them at their age, and here's some of their stories.
Yeah.
So regardless, I can't justify either one of their behaviors, and they both is wrong, and they both should be punished.
Well, yeah.
So,
P. Diddy is being punished.
Well, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm talking about some of the people that was involved in the activity and knew what was going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they the ones should be punished.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to move on, KC, because, we do like to talk about Black History Month on this podcast.
Yes.
And so we're going to put that up. And again, I'm going to ask you to just go ahead and regurgitate what's up there.
When they try to remind you how Black folks were Republicans once upon a time, my TikTok contribution to Black History Month.
All right, because so far the title got me, Casey.
Mm-hmm.
Because back in the day, Republican Party was supported a lot by African Americans.
Yeah.
And then the tides changed.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what changed. Let's get a real history lesson here.
Black people used to be part of the Republican Party. Or the Republican Party was the one that freed the slaves. I'm about to give you the rundown of how all that went down and why it switched. Here's something that a lot of you may not know. The Civil Rights Acts of 1964 and 1968, signed into law by the Democratic Party, wasn't even the first Civil Rights Act. The first Civil Rights Act was signed into law in 1866. And guess what? It was signed into law by the Republican Party, who unanimously voted to override President Andrew Johnson, who was a Democrat that strongly opposed it. Now, don't get me wrong. They didn't do that because they cared about Black people so much. Well, maybe some of them did. But we were used as a political tool, like we always are, to centralize power within the federal government, to basically preside over state legislation. So, of course,
I'm going to pause here just for a little bit, Casey, because he's giving me he's intriguing me. But I'm going to see if we can look like we got a little bug in our system here, and I'm going to see if we can get rid of that bug real quick. Because the bug was also playing that music, it sounded like, but we're going to go ahead and move on and see if this will help.
Southern states wasn't feeling that shit. But anyway, Black folk was like, so y'all gonna free us and make us citizens? Shit, I'm finna slide over there. However, a change had begun in the political party after the Civil War. See, Northern industrialists became rich off the war, and many of them seeked to enter politics. The rich didn't see much sense in supporting Black Americans, especially when the majority of the country was white. So by the 1870s, many Republicans felt like they had already done enough for Black citizens and stopped focusing on the Southern states. And that left us in the hands of white Democrats and their oppressive policies towards Black people after the Compromise of 1877. And for anybody wondering what the Compromise of 1877 was, that ended the Reconstruction. That was a deal where the Southern white Democrats allowed the Republicans to take the presidency in exchange for them moving their military from Southern states, taking their foot off the South's neck. See what I mean? Bargaining chips. Anyway, fast forward to the 20th century. Almost 60 years later, the Great Depression shook stuff up, baby. When everybody broke and hungry and looking around to see who to blame, hey. So the Republican Party, who continued to be dominated by rich businessmen, took on the attitude like, we'll let this stuff work itself out. While meanwhile favoring policies that supported big businesses. It was cool when everything was booming, but it was catastrophic when everything wasn't. Boy, if this ain't history damn near repeating itself. So when the economy finally crashed in 1929, Republican President Herbert Hoover said, I ain't interfering. Boy, that pissed people off right there. Mind you, if the economy was bad for white people, it was a wasteland for black folks. So that's when the president, Democrat Franklin D. Roosevelt, came to save the day. He won the 1932 election by a landslide. And it was Franklin D. Roosevelt's policies that shifted politics into much of what we see today. In comes the civil rights movement. It's important to note that race wasn't necessarily a party thing, it was a regional thing. Southern Democrats and Republicans opposed the civil rights movement, while Northern Democrats and Republicans began to support the legislation as the movement picked up. In 1964, Democratic leader Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act into law. The Republican candidate Barry Goldwater was very much opposed. He stated that this expanded the power of the federal government too much. And because of this, black folks started switching over to the Democratic Party. We began to see them as advocates for equality and justice, while seeing Republicans as the party who wanted to maintain the status quo. During the 60s and 70s, the Democratic Party sought other reform like abortion and prayers in school. And this is when Southern white Democrats began to resent how much government oversight was being displayed by the Democratic Party. And by the 1980s, Southern white Democrats switched over to the Republican Party. And the majority of the South were now Republicans. And this is how we get present day Republican parties being conservative and present day Democratic parties being liberal. So the next time you hear a white person telling you how the Republican Party freed the slaves and how black folks used to be Republican, you can walk them down with this history. My whole point is this. These parties can flip-flop on your ass because it ain't about you, at least not completely. It's about government control versus autonomy. It's about the wealthy class versus the working class. And it's always been about power. Do you think our interests still lie in the Democratic Party? Or do you believe they've abandoned us a long time ago? Drop a comment and let me know. For more content like this, don't forget to hit that follow button and like and share so that we can be on.
Absolutely. Now, not only like and share his content, I also ask people to, if you like the content of Barbershop.talk, to subscribe and like and share our work as well.
Absolutely.
Now, I do want to say a couple of things about that.
Mm-hmm.
You see, that's why it's important that we learn our history.
Yeah.
Right? Not only African American history, but history of the United States, the real history of the United States.
Yeah.
Now, also, it may be that, again, there may be a moment in history that perhaps because of what's going on in a political environment, that it may be that some Republicans may end up switching parties because they totally dislike what's happening in their party.
It may be in the near future, J. Rod, and by the near future, I mean this year, because there's going to be a lot of Republicans that want to distance themselves when they run for re-election in the midterm elections. So, in fact, you're already hearing Susan Collins trying to distance herself from Trump, but I think it's a little too late. But my grandfather, gave me like a summation of all that before. I remember when I was like maybe 12 or 13 and we was watching TV with the news and stuff. And I was asking him about these parties, partying. It don't look like them people partying to me, what's going on? And so he kind of explained to me about the parties. And he also mentioned about the shift about, how black folks used to be Republican and when they started changing and why. And that the white Southerners were Democrats until the mid and late 60s when the blacks, the Civil Rights, Voting Rights Act passed, and blacks started winning more positions within the Democratic Party in the South.
Right.
And so they started resenting that. And so Richard Nixon started making broad appeals similar to Trump, racist appeals to these white Southerners to join their party and we'll support your causes.
Yeah, but this is what it reinforced for me, Casey, hearing this history. See, it seems like to me that I wish the citizen of the United States get off of this party stuff. You vote for your interests. So I don't care if he's a Republican or she's a Republican or a Democrat or whatever. If they talking in your interests, that's where your vote should go.
Yes.
I think it's too many times that a lot of citizens vote against their interests,
Mm-hmm.
and then when they lose some rights, let's just say they're gonna lose some rights,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they start jumping up and down, and then they gain the rights back, and they think they are victorious. In reality, they went nowhere.
Yes.
It was just in a complete circle. So I truly believe, and sometimes that demonstrates here in Indianapolis when it comes to the mayor,
Mm-hmm.
right? We have both Democrat and Republican mayor,
Mm-hmm.
and I think a lot of that is because people saying, what you're really going to do for the city.
Right.
And I think we need to broaden that, and you may be able to identify with a certain party and say, I am a Democrat or I am a Republican, but in reality, you vote the issue that you have the most passion for.
Exactly. It's all right to be a member of a party, but for any election, you should look at the candidates and what they plan to do as it relates to you. And that's who you should choose, regardless of what label they have.
Right.
One of the problems we have in America is that we're divided and conquered. And a lot of times people think that's being used against us. It's been used against white people more than it's been used against us. They just don't realize it.
Mm-hmm,
See,
mm-hmm.
so instead of you, who wouldn't want free health care, right? Because all the other democratic nations got it, right? And I work with people that are just absolutely upset that they have to pay these high premiums for health care.
Mm-hmm.
But they voted against free health care or low or reduced price health care.
I'm going to answer that just a little bit, Casey.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the reasons why I don't have any issue with social media. A lot of people have a lot of issue with social media,
Mm-hmm.
and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
But what I like about social media is sometimes they talk about the topics that you just don't see in your regular paper or the main media on TV. Because on TV they're saying that we don't have enough to support SNAP. We don't have enough money for let's say the housing Section 8, and there's a lot of fraud going on. But on social media, sometimes they talk about all the money that we give in these different countries.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's a lot of money, and I'm just like, where did they find the money, Casey? Because let me tell you what that remind me of. Right?
What's that?
I'm going, hey, Dad, can we have McDonald's tonight? He said, I don't got McDonald's money. I don't have that right now.
Mm-hmm.
But my father was an avid bowler. So before he take us home, we stop at the bowling alley. He bought this $300 bowling ball. He had the McDonald's money. He just chose to use it on something else. And I think that's how this country need to realize that they selling you stories, right? But social media spreads your exposure to different things, seeing different things that's not necessarily been spoken about.
Right.
And I think that is I think that's one of the benefits of social media. Like, where else would you see that man's story about where we switched parties? Did you do that in school?
No, absolutely not. And so, yes, social media is a vital tool now to bring up topics and subjects that aren't being discussed. Now, when you hear these things, the opinions that people give, they may or may not be correct, right? But but it brings up the issue, and you can research it to find out more about it.
Yeah.
But on the main media, right, they have an agenda, and they're pushing their agenda, and a lot of the topics that we want to discuss is not part of their agenda.
Right. Now, another thing I want to say is like this, and this is my last comment about social media before we go to our closing.
Mm-hmm.
If social media didn't have an impact, if social media didn't expose truth, why are they trying to control it?
Yeah.
Now, it is the same philosophy as that if you think your vote don't count, why do you think they're trying to control it?
Exactly.
It falls in the same thing. Well, with that being said, Casey, we're going to go ahead and go to our closing. And again, if you like our content, we ask that you like.
I want to thank you for listening to Barbershop.talk podcast. Please tell your family, friends, and enemies about our podcast, Barbershop.talk, available on your favorite podcast platforms. Let's have peace in the streets. Be safe, be wise, and be loved. And we say, go mob.
Ah, bad bitch. Money count on.